From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2185, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, September 18th, 2019. Our top story this week is a tale of personal triumph. You may remember Newsline's interview last autumn with the YL sailing around the world hoping to set a new record. Well, she did it.
Jan Socrates, VE0JS, sailed jubilantly into Victoria, British Columbia past the Ogden Point breakwater on Saturday, September 7th, ending her 339-day journey and beginning her new status as record holder. Jan, who is 77, has become the oldest person to sail solo around the world non-stop and unassisted. During the journey that began October 3, 2018, the retired university mathematics professor made hundreds of QSOs on HF and blogged about her daily challenges and activities. In November of last year, she spoke to Newsline from her vessel when it was north of Dulce Island and en route to New Zealand and Australia by way of Cape Horn. Sea swells, two cyclones and equipment malfunctions were formidable but temporary obstacles, and she savoured her 4 months later than planned arrival home, all the more because of them. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm John Williams, VK4JJW.
India's space agency has located the lander from its failed lunar mission.
India's crashed Vikram lunar lander, part of the nation's failed Chandrayaan-2 mission, was located on the lunar surface, according to reports from the Indian Space and Research Organisation, or ISRO. ISRO reported that it was attempting to make contact with the lander, which had been photographed via thermal image from the orbiter. The mission had entered lunar orbit on August 20th and its lander separated on September 2nd to prep for its eventual descent. The goal was to make a soft landing and deploy a robotic lunar rover to search for water near the south pole of the moon. The mission was considered the agency's most complex to date. Officials said the orbiter will continue to study the moon from a distance. A successful landing would have made India the fourth nation to achieve a lunar landing after the United States, the former Soviet Union, and China. India has said it hopes to send a trio of astronauts into space by 2022. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
Here's some good news for Hamvention fans who've begun to settle in each May at the Greene County Fairgrounds.
Dayton Hamvention isn't likely to be going anywhere anytime soon. The Dayton Daily News reports that Greene County, Ohio's Fair Board has reached an agreement with organizers to keep the massive amateur radio gathering at the Greene County Fairgrounds and Exposition Center in Xenia for the next 5 years. The announcement comes on the heels of word that Hamvention drew 32,472 attendees earlier this spring, a total considered the highest since the event relocated from its longtime home at Hara Arena. The first Hamvention at the Greene County Fairgrounds was held in 2017. Ron Kramer, KD8ENJ president of the Dayton Amateur Radio Association, has said in the past that the event's annual economic impact on the region is between $15 and $18 million. Kathleen Wright, executive director of the Greene County Convention and Visitors Bureau, told the Dayton Daily News that with continued growth expected for Hamvention and more hotel rooms becoming available, even more attendees can be accommodated in the years ahead. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jack Parker, W8ISH.
And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at arnewsline.org. With John Williams, VK4JJW, Jason Daniels, VK2LAW, Jack Parker, W8ISH, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe. I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW. 7-3. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.